If your defense keeps getting shredded no matter what you call in college football 26, it's because you're not using the secret techniques that all the top players use to lock down every single play. Luckily for you, in this video, I'm breaking down those exact techniques, blitz setups, coverage adjustments. They're going to have you locking down every single play that you call. If you want the same for your defense, just like I transformed this player's defense in CFP 26, make sure you don't skip out on any of the tips I have for you today, and let's jump right into it. The first tip I want to break down are the best zone drop settings to use, because so many players get this confused and don't know which ones to use. Let me show you. Alright, so we're going to come into our coaching adjustments here, and we're going to scroll down until we find zone drop curl flats. This is going to be the first use case, alright, for zone drops. Stopping the flat, right? So when you call a cover 2 or a cover 3 defense, you want to take away the underneath pass, because here's the reality. If they can call just route concepts like this, boom, they take the snap. If they can throw this flat every play, they will. But when we're able to break on those passes and take them away, that's going to be so much better for us. So we take a look at this again where, let's just say we don't have a flat in the field on this left side, right? So they could literally just put Bernard right here on a flat, throw it, and that's an easy completion for a first down, guys. It doesn't get any easier than that, and too many of you guys don't know how to actually stop those underneath passes. So really all that you have to do is put your curl flats on 5 yards, call a cover 3 defense, and now the flat is going to be taken away because your guys are going to come down, break on that pass, and it's going to be interception, maybe even a pick 6, simply because you have your flats on 5 yards or your curl flats in your zone drop coaching adjustments. The reason why you want to set those is because you could also come into a cover 3, press Y or triangle, and then right stick down to shade underneath, put default hard flats in the field. That's going to do the same thing, basically, of stopping the flat if your guys can tackle, right? So, it's either or, but if you set it in your zone drops, you don't have to make that extra adjustment at the line of scrimmage with those 2 button presses. So, come down, he makes that play, he breaks on that pass and intercepts it. And so whether they want to use drags, outs, table routes, whatever it is, you're going to be able to stop those flats underneath very, very easily. But second is going to be what you need to do with your flat zones, because here's the reality. If we call the same exact defense right here, where we have the cover 3 sky, we have with our curl flats and 5, and we have them call a flood concept, the reality is they can step up in the pocket, and Ryan Williams, whoever's in that spot, is going to be wide open on his corner out on the sideline. Like literally an easy completion if the 13th pick in the draft could hit a wide open throw. But we go with it again right here, we throw it, and that time it's wide open there on the sideline again if Ty Simpson wants to hit the throw. But the reality is that's wide open. You're going to get hit over your head with flood concepts simply because, you have your curl flats on 5 and they can't guard that. So what you're going to do, come into your flats, put them on 25 now, and use what we call the double maple coverage. So you're going to come into a cover 2 defense now, and you're going to have your flats on 25. You're going to pull your curl flats on 5, and you're going to make sure that you put your slot corner and your outside linebacker in that curl flat assignment, because now when they call this same flood concept, we still have our 5-yard curl flat, right, who's going to be right there to make that tackle for a gain of a yard, or break the pass up, or sometimes even intercept it. But what you're going to see now is you're going to have your blue zones, your flats, dropping back to 25 yards to be able to defend over the top. So boom, you're just going to see how right there, number 1 is sitting right at that spot to break on that corner out and knock it away if it was completion. But the reason why you want to do it on both sides is because they could switch it up, right? They could flood the left side, right? So they could motion their running back, put him on a shriek, have Ryan Williams on a drag, and now you want to be able to stop not only the corner out, boom, we take away the corner out, we have number 2 out there to guard that corner out to number 5, but then also we want to be able to take away the flat to Ryan Williams. So boom, we take the snap right here again. You see how this time I forgot to put the 5-yard curl flat on the field, but if you put your outside linebacker in that 5-yard curl flat, you're just going to see how he's going to be able to break on that pass and knock it away or make a tackle. So we go with it again right here, boom, take the snap, and now you see how our 5-yard curl flat is there to knock that pass away. So zone drops, like I said, confuses a lot of players. If you simply want to defend the flat, just put your curl flats on 5 from like cover 3 or cover 4. But if you really want to defend both the deep and short sideline at the same time, the double Mabel coverage from cover 2 with your flats on 25, curl flats on 5 is going to be a great way to slow that down. All right, next I want to show you a secret trick that's going to allow you to get way more sacks than the quarterback. Let me show you what I mean. All right, so you can actually do this from any play in the game. I like it most here from nickel load mug, and we're going to, this is best when you pair this with an overload blitz or a custom stunt. So we're going to turn auto flip defensive play off for this blitz specifically, and then we're going to call the left pirate 3-man custom stunt. Now, like I said, you can do this from any defense. This is just my favorite example of what this would look like. So we are going to shift our defensive line to the left. We are going to stand right here over the center. So when you have the left pirate 3-man, if we look at the player, we basically have 3 guys on the left side of the offensive line. The reality, though, is the center is going to slide over, and even though we have an advantage, what it looks like right here, the center is going to slide over and make that 3-on-3, and so it's still a stunt, so it can still work, but you just notice how now it actually gets blocked, and a player with good pocket presence is able to get away from that pressure, pretty easily. So what we're going to do is we're going to user lock. We're going to get the attention of the center, again, by pressing D-pad up, right trigger, and left stick down. That's going to lock our user in place right here over top of the center, right? And so the reason why this is going to be really valuable for you is because now the center isn't going to be able to slide over and block our stunt or overload blitz on the left side. We're going to be able to play 3-on-2 on that side and get quick pressure on the quarterback. So we're going to see right here, D-pad up, right trigger, left stick down to open the substitutions menu. And then you're going to spam this A button to get off the block as quickly as possible. You see how our guy comes in completely clean off of the edge to recover that fumble and get that sack right there. So that's an example of what makes this so valuable. So again, we look at the replay. This is my user number 0. I'm getting the attention of this center right here, and you see these 2 guys on the right side go to double team now because they don't have anyone to block. All the havoc is over here, and so when I get the attention of the center, he can't block anyone, and so that allows for this man to walk in free. The faster your defensive tackle is, the better, because the faster he'll be able to loop around and get that quick pressure on the quarterback. But you also notice how when I spam the A button, I'm able to get back into coverage as quickly as possible. You see how I get off this block really fast, and then I'm back into coverage to take away their post, to take away their drag, whatever they might have breaking open over the middle of the field. So again, shift the defensive line to the left, pass command by pressing RB, right stick up, and then you're going to press D-pad up, right trigger, left stick down. Boom. You're going to take the snap right here, get the attention of this man, and then you see how that edge rusher just comes flying in free, right off the edge for literally the easiest, the fastest sack you'll see. And again, I'm getting the attention of the center. He's not able to block anyone. Basically, they only have 4 offensive linemen. This guy's also in no man's land, blocking nobody. And so again, that allows for our guy to come in free. So again, like I said earlier, you can do this from any defense in the game. You just want to make sure that you have a pretty good custom stunt to pair it with. And again, you see how there's only a 4-man rush, so being able to get quick instant pressure on the quarterback is like a dream. And it's all about standing in the right spot, because if you stand over here, then the guard will block you, the right guard. But because I'm standing right here, basically right over the center has no choice but to block me. So I think I'm going to have them block their running back right here. We're going to take this snap again, and that's another example of where that time I got the attention of the guard, but he kind of just let me go. So if they've let you come in free, you don't need to turn around, right? You see how he kind of just lets me in the backfield, easy, quick pressure on the quarterback, running back, blocking nobody. So it's like, if you're going to use a rush, you're going to use a rush. You're committed to it if they don't block you immediately. And then if they do, you just spam A or X on PlayStation, get off the block and get back into coverage. But overall, that's going to make your, pass rush a whole lot better, because you're going to get that instant pressure right on the quarterback, simply because you're able to pair it up with a really great stunt and just collapse the pocket really quickly. So again, D-pad up, right trigger, left stick down to user lock, and start reaping the benefits of it. All right, so if you found those first 2 defensive tips helpful here in College Football 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down CFB 26 tips and tricks just like this every single day, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want all 5 of these tips, the first 2 that I showed you in the next next 3 that come that might be even better, go to the link down below in the pinned comment to join CFB University, where your first month is only going to be $1. I guarantee you'll transform the way you're able to play defense and win more games here in CFB 26, and you can save all the tips on your phone and always pull them up during gameplay. So what are you thinking? Join today, and let's jump right back into the video. Because the reality is, we've been talking about pass defense to start this video, but if you can't stop the run, no one's even going to pass the ball. So let me show you the best way to stop the run in the backfield every single time. Alright, so what we're talking about here with automatic run defense, you can actually do this from any defense in the game. I'll just come into nickel 2-3 stack right here. And so what you're trying to do is stand, or I won't go into stack, I'll just go into cub. Right, so what you're gonna do is this is gonna work really great against inside runs. So when you have either 4 or 5 defensive linemen on the line of scrimmage, just like this, where we have 5 guys, this is going to make it a whole lot easier for you, because all you have to do is stand inside the butt of this defensive tackle just like this, and now a flame icon is going to appear over your head, and so now you're just going to be able to run in free and try to dive tackle the ball carrier. Now, timing is key. I am holding 2 controllers, so this isn't exactly the easiest exercise, but if you just come stand directly right here, the flame icon, you're not going to see it when you're on defense, but the offense will, and it's going to tell them that if that man blitzes, he's coming in clean. So boom, you're just going to see how you're going to click on and dive tackle the ball carriers. Sometimes your D lineman, your D tackle, like 96 in this case, sometimes he'll walk in the backfield free, but a lot of the time it's just going to be your user. So that time is an example of where the D tackle comes in clean. And so you're basically just trying to meet the ball carrier as soon as he touches the ball, not allowing him to get into a tackle battle with you, not allowing him to speed boost away from you. So we take the snap, and then we're trying to dive tackle. Having Heat Seeker Assist on is going to make this a whole lot easier for you. Having it set to 100% or higher is going to make your dive tackle a lot better, but you're able to see right here where that's an example of where I come in clean and I'm able to make that play. Again, timing is the key practice, because if you dive tackle at the wrong time, you can just not, it won't work for you at times. But I know that some people also play in like leagues where you can't stand inside the butt of your D tackle. If you just stand like right here, like right in this spot, you just be able to loop through and dive tackle him as well. So there's the gap shoot method, and then there's the automatic run defense method. So again, I could stand right here if I was playing in a league, and then I would just loop around and then dive tackle that guy, where it's still basically the same thing. It's just more error prone if you do it the second way. So if you can't just stand inside this guy, put the flame icon over your head, and then just run in free and make that play, right? You're able to see how I keep getting these bad angles just because I'm not using the most elusive guy ever. But it's like sometimes you also just get tripped up. Like you just get tripped up on the guy, which is kind of frustrating, but you're able to see how right here, both of us come in free and we're able to make that play. So that's really the first way to automatically stop the run. Again, you either just stand like right here and you just loop, you stand like right here. You still see how the flame icon's over my head, right? It's like I'm right here, and then I just loop around and make that tackle, right? And that's an example where you wouldn't want to conservative tackle. You would want to dive tackle to make sure that you actually bring that guy down. Also, you can come into like double mug right here. If I can get it, and then you can just come into mid blitz, and it would be the same thing where you're just retargeting the offensive line, take this man, stand over the center. Now there's another flame icon, and that guy just walks in the backfield completely untouched. So it's really just one or the other, whichever method you prefer. If you run double mug already, you could literally just come into mid blitz, stand right here, and then just run in free. Boom, dive tackle this guy before you can get away. So really, you can use the stand inside D tackle method. You could stand a couple yards over the center, just like this, and then just loop around and make the play. If you have rules that don't allow you to do the first way, or you could just come into double mug, take that guy, move him over the center to retarget the offensive line, and then you're going to be able to just automatically stop the run. So run defense really important, and those are 3 pretty good techniques to stop the run in the backfield every single time. Alright, so before I jump to those final 2 defensive tips that you're absolutely not going to want to miss here in College Football 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down CFB 26 tips and tricks every single day, and like I said, I'm the only one doing it right now here on YouTube, so I'm really the best channel to watch and learn from. So what are you thinking? Go down below, hit that subscribe button, and let's jump into those final 2 tips. Which that next one is going to literally be the foundation of great defense. If you can't make adjustments fast, you're just going to be lost and getting quick snapped. Let me show you the best way to improve your adjustment speed. Alright, so as we know, if you run a cover 2 defense like this, and they're in like a 3x1 trips formation, you are just going to get annihilated right here, like just right through the middle, right there, and he catches it, or you could throw it right on the, or they could throw it right on the sideline. It's just going to be an easy completion. And so it's like that, but that's a real thing where you call a defense and they have just a better formation. Like you call cover 2 versus empty, you call cover 3 versus empty. You're not able to defend it. And so the reality is, too many of you guys do this, where you say, okay, I can't run cover 2, so let me try to run a cover 3. So you click on this guy, then click, and now after 4 clicks, you're on your outside third, and then you try to put him in the outside third, and then you click again, boom, A, inside. So it's just taking too long. It's too many, you're looking for too long. It's too many button presses. So, and then the reality is you're probably getting quick snapped at some point. So now there's no flat on that side, and then that's just going to be easy completion, getting them out into open space, allowing them to speed boost. So you have to get better with these quick adjustments on defense. And this is something that a lot of people, they know that their opponents are making a lot of adjustments against them, but they don't know how. So the way that they're doing it is they understand these 3 button commands. Pressing Y on Xbox or triangle on PlayStation twice, so Y twice or triangle twice, opens the secondary adjustments just like this. So every formation has 4 to 6 DBs here, and so you have access to all of them simply by pressing Y or triangle twice. All right, if you press D-pad right twice, that's going to open your linebackers, right? And so you either have 1 to 4 depending on the formation. Here I only have 1, so I can click onto him and then make all of his adjustments right there from that menu. And then lastly, pressing D-pad left twice is going to open your defensive line. Every formation is going to have from 3 to 6 defensive linemen, and so now you're going to be able to adjust them, from this menu. You can click onto either of them and adjust them. So why is this so valuable once you understand those 3 commands? Well, now I know that in order to turn this into a cover 3 cloud or a cover 3 on this left side, what I have to do is press Y twice and then click his icon X and then put him in outside third. Then I could just press Y twice again, press Y for the 3rd time, and put him in an inside third. Then I can press Y twice, press LB, then the left stick to the right to put him in a curl flat. So now I'm able to make all 3 of those adjustments a whole lot faster because I know the button commands are all like the same pretty much. There's only really one button that's changing, which is going to be the icon of the defender that you're trying to adjust. And then also, I'm not getting quick snap because I did all 3 of those adjustments from my middle linebacker, right? So I'm not having to jump around or do any of this stuff. Like I could user this and then switch stick if I wanted to. So whenever they decide to snap the ball, I'm basically on the player that I wanted to start the play on anyway. So if I'm doing it at full speed, boom, Y twice, boom, and then now I have the defense done in under 2 seconds. So you guys complain when you see videos or ebooks or watch streamers like, how are you getting adjustments all so fast? I don't have time to do that. It's because you have to get good with quick adjustments. It's really the most important thing to improving your pass defense. And so you're able to see now how I have that defense in the field. I could come down if I wanted to, take away this, drag, then lurk up, take away their crosser. And now instead of giving up that wide open hole shot on the sideline, now we actually have a defense that's competent and that is able to take away this fade route right here. Boom, we're able to take this away. Boom, we're able to take away this outside third, and we're able to take away this crosser. It's really the most lockdown defense. It's the easiest way to play defense, is mastering those quick adjustments. So again, Y twice is your secondary, or triangle twice. D-pad left twice is your D-line, and then D-pad right twice is your linebackers. Once you get better with those adjustments, you work on them, you practice them, you're going to see your adjustment speed go way up, which is going to make your overall defensive efficiency way better. And that last tip that's going to improve your defense is actually a way to make your pass rush better. Simply using custom stunts is going to be the best way to do that. So let me show you which ones are best to use. Alrighty, so we're going to come into nickel, and we're going to come into 2-4 single mug right here, all right? And so these are gonna be the best stunts that you wanna use. We're going to use the Texas 4-man first here. This is gonna be, like I said, one of the best ones to use because it's so easy. It's only a 4-man rush. And what do we know about this game? The most common pass protection that people are gonna use is gonna be base protection. And so why does that play to our advantage? Well, what you're just gonna see is base protection is going to get destroyed by this because you're going to get the attention of the center right there, momentarily turn him to the right, which is going to run him into our edge rusher, right? So what you're going to see on the replay, boom, this guy's going to loop around, and basically the center is going to have to pick his poison because this man's looping around, this man's looping around, and so you see how he's just late to the party, and we're able to get that quick pressure off one of those two sides. So again, the setup for this from the nickel single mug Texas 4-man custom stunt is going to be spreading your defensive line, pressing RB, and then right stick up to pass commit your defense. And so now what you're going to notice is when they go to, again, the most common pass protection in this game, base protection, boom, we're going to take the snap, turn him outside, and that is typically going to allow for your other man on the left side to just shoot in completely untouched. And so it's like base protection is the most common in the game, and so when you can go to a stunt like this really at any time, that's going to be able to do a great job of just collapsing the pocket and getting that instant flying A-gap pressure, right? That's going to be a huge problem for the offense. And the reality is, even if they were to block their running back here, it's going to be a lot of the same things because that man's still going to come in clean, but now the running back's going to have to step up to block him. So again, boom, stand right here, turn him outside. This time it gets picked up better, but he still sheds, and then the running back is in no man's land, wants no parts of that guy, and so we're still able to get that quick, routine pressure right there. So again, only a 4-man rush. Just like I told you guys about user locking earlier, how that's only a 4-man rush, this is the same thing where you're able to get quick pressure, blocked running back, unblocked running back from only a 4-man rush because you're using one of the best stunts in the game, which allows you to play really great coverage on the back end. But if we come into our next custom stunt here that I think is really good and kind of newer, kind of underrated, under the radar here, we're going to come into dime normal, come into dime blitz 3, and how we're going to make this really good is we're going to call the left tom 2-man custom stunt. And so what you're going to notice here when you call this left tom 2-man custom stunt is when you shift your defensive line, this is going to be a 5-man blitz right here, but this blitz is insane, and it's even better when you have a good custom stunt. So we're using the left tom 2-man. You can call it at the play call menu, or you can press D-pad right, then press RB, and then you have your stunts right here, the left tom 2-man. So you press RB, right stick up, and so now what you're gonna see is when we are able to get the attention of the guard right there, we're gonna be able to basically get 4 guys on the left side of the offensive line, which is gonna create a huge problem for them in pass protection. So your custom stunt and your blitz is going to kind of work together here to get that really quick pressure. So boom, we're gonna see how now you see how there's a flame. If you looked at it on offense, right, there's a flame icon over the head of our defensive end, which means if we do our job correctly with our user as far as getting the attention of the guard, he's gonna come in untouched. So boom, turn that guard, get his attention, and then you see it again where we're able to get that flying pressure off of the left side, with our, stunt right here. So again, boom, turn this guy outside. Best part is I'm back over the middle of the field to guard this backside dig route. And then we just have it's very simple. We shift our D-line. All of our guys are on the left side of the offensive line, 4-on-3 advantage, and we're able to get the quarterback on the ground in a hurry. So whether you want to use this stunt from the left from the left tom 2-man, or you want to use the Texas 4-man custom stunt, both of those are going to do a great job of getting good pressure on the quarterback and overall just make the offense's job more of a nightmare, right? Just because it's a stunt, guys are looping through all different directions, and it's going to be a problem. Turn that guy outside, our guy's able to squirt in free. Kind of creates a little bit of a traffic jam, and so sometimes you guys can trip over each other, but you have the numbers advantage, and you're going to be able to take advantage of that. time and time again. Alright, so if you found any of those 5 defensive tips helpful here in College Football 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down CFB 26 tips and tricks just like this every single day, and like I said, I'm the only one doing it right now, so this is really the best channel for you to watch every single day. But if you want all 5 of those tips in written form to save on your phone so you never have to go surfing through a video, you can always reference them and understand them on your phone during gameplay. Go to the link down below in the pinned comment to join CFB University. Again, where your first month is only going to be $1 off all my written breakdowns for the month of May and beyond. It's really a no-brainer. It's only $1 to try out, so what are you thinking? Go check it out today. But if you want to see 5 tips to transform your offense specifically here in CFB 26, check out this video right here. I'll see you over there. Peace.